different types of tools that are out there. Let's first take a look at single purpose tools. The main one that we're going to talk about here is content marketing. Content marketing involves traditional marketing as well as all of digital marketing, including social media. So this is where we're getting our message out there. Whatever, if it's an ad campaign, if it's us telling a story, whatever it may be, the content is what we're trying to get out to our consumers, to our prospective customers, to make them aware of what it is that we have going on. A great way to manage how we get that content out there is by use of an editorial calendar. They've been used by publishers for years to ensure that those involved in content creation meet deadlines for moving work to the next stage in the process. So think about newspapers. Think about TV magazine shows where you have to have new, fresh content on a regular basis, whether it's daily or weekly. And there's going to be lots of people involved in that process, from the writers to those that gather information, to those that do editing, and on and on and on. Editorial calendars have been used to help kind of streamline that process and make that process flow. Anyone that is involved in content creation would be using an editorial calendar. The presence of the calendar is a great help in ensuring that enough preparation time is available and that content items and channels are properly synchronized. So it helps to be able to see where things are going in the process when things are ready to be published, and it just makes a nice check system to make sure everything is happening the way that it is supposed to. Now, some tools to develop and monitor your personal brand. And this is a 4-stage process as listed in your textbook. First stage is discover. In the discovery stage, you conduct a self-assessment of your goals and personal characteristics. So you're trying to determine who you are and what your message is going to be and who you're trying to reach out to. As you continue personal brand development, it is useful to discover what others are saying about you in a professional context. So you've got the listening stage of the social media planning cycle. Okay. There's some different tools listed there in your notes as examples of tools that you can use to help you in this discovery stage. And you can find information on those online. Create is the next step. It's important to investigate the tools offered by each platform you are using as a first step in creating your content. So you need to check out what sort of tools are available to help you to be able to make sure that you're getting your message out there. And again, there's a list of tools that can help you to be able to do those sorts of things with content creation and getting your content out to various platforms. Communicate across your chosen platforms and make sure that you are keeping in sync with all the different platforms. Make sure that you are engaging with those that follow you. And ways to be able to do that would be to monitor the different platforms that you are using. Hootsuite is a good tool for that. Also Buffer and If This Then That also offer different ways for you to be able to monitor your communication and keep you on track there. And finally, maintain. Continue to create and post relevant content to your chosen platforms. Monitor the growth of your reach and effectiveness on the various platforms that you use. So this is kind of your wash, rinse, repeat aspect of what you're doing. Make sure that you're keeping up on things and keeping things consistent and keeping things fresh. There's some examples of tools that you can use to help you to be able to do that listed in your notes as well. Single platform tools. Now, these are tools for tracking brand activity and brand mentions, and we're looking specifically at Facebook here. Facebook Insights allows business users to see a variety of metrics about the use and popularity of posts and is accessed directly from the brand page. So Facebook Insights is going to be kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of different data about how you're doing on Facebook. Mention allows the users to create alerts for various search items. You can use it to search all sorts of things from your name to your brand to any string of letters, characters, words, whatever you want to search for, and to be notified when it appears virtually anywhere on the web. That can be a very effective thing to help you to monitor what's going on out there. And Nutshell Mail. Nutshell Mail monitors activity on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and consolidates it into an email for analysis and response. And it also covers tools like Yelp, Foursquare, and CitySearch. So this is a nice little digest sort of way of keeping track on what's going on various types of social media. That can be a nice sort of thing to be able to look at things in one central location and have it just sent to you on a regular basis. Facebook made enhancements to targeting services offered to marketers and announced a set of tools to help marketers take advantage of them. And here's what some of those are. Interest targeting. Interest targeting is where marketers can choose a subset based on their interests. This allows more precise targeting of messages, and it also expands the marketer's reach. Post end date is where publishers can specify the date a post will no longer appear on news feeds of followers, although the post continues to be shown on the marketer's page. So in this case, this is something that can be of value in that if you have material that is time sensitive, say if you're promoting a sale that ends on a certain date, you can make it so that that particular notice will not appear on people's feeds after that certain date, which can be a very helpful sort of thing. Smart Publishing allows publishers to see which of their stories are being posted on Facebook by readers. So it helps you to be able to see how many people are sharing your content and how they're sharing your content. Multiple platform tools. This helps you to be able to navigate through more than just one particular type of social media platform. Basic functions of Hootsuite will publish on various platforms and monitor your activity on your different social media platforms. It'll help you to schedule posts on those platforms. It'll create reports for each of the platforms connected to their accounts. It will connect apps in order to be able to access other platforms, and it'll monitor content from selected blogs and websites. So if you were to look at the page that Hootsuite offers, it kind of almost looks like this scrolling billboard of all of your different platforms and allows you to have kind of one-stop shopping of all those different things to help you to be able to work on all of them at one time in one central location. Social Draft Social Calendar will service Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram with a drag and drop scheduling calendar, which can help you to be able to keep track to make sure that you are scheduling your time on social media, scheduling the posting of your content, and monitoring things in that fashion. Purchase services. The tools that have been discussed so far all require ongoing hands-on activity on the part of the user. So far, everything that we've talked about requires human involvement, requires you or someone you designate to actually sit there and manually schedule the different things or manually monitor what's going on and take action based on certain things that alerts are being brought up on or to respond to certain things that are happening. But the tools that we have talked about to this point are by and large also free tools. Now, as we go into purchase services, they offer a little bit more convenience than some of the things that we've talked about already. Purchase services are contracted out to third-party suppliers. In some ways, the suppliers behave like advertising agencies. They contract with clients to provide a set of services and advice on their use. So we haven't talked a lot about advertising agencies in some of the other classes that we have had. So just kind of briefly, an advertising agency is a service that works with various clients that are interested in advertising on various types of media. Let's say that you're a business that wants to do an advertising campaign, and you're going to use various television stations, radio stations, newspapers, maybe even direct mail, all those sorts of things. The advertising agency is going to come up with the creative for you to help you to determine the best way to put your message out there. It is going to produce the content or have the content produced for you, whether it's the radio commercial, the television commercial, the display of the print ad, whatever it may be. It will work on your behalf to go to the various media outlets to negotiate rates for the advertising services. And then the various media outlets work directly with the ad agency in terms of setting up the contracts and doing the billing arrangements and all of that sort of thing. And that all goes through the advertising agency. So really all the business does is it works with the advertising agency to make sure that it approves of everything the agency is doing and then pays the agency for doing all of those services for the business. So when you look at it that way, these purchase services, these third-party suppliers are kind of acting in the same way. They are providing a service to you, a business owner, in monitoring and managing all the content that you are putting out there, in watching the feedback that's happening on your various social media platforms, monitoring the data in terms of how well you are doing or not doing, and giving advice on what to do about the numbers that are coming in, if there's something that you're doing well or something that needs to have improvement. These purchase services will generally be much more efficient in handling those things for you for the fee that they charge to provide those services. Most services are organized around basic categories of SMM services, reminiscent of the stages in the social media planning cycle. So there we go. Again, back to chapter 2. And there is information on a couple of these different types of purchase services in your textbook. You can read up on those to get more information on how they work. Consumer tools for productivity and engagement. Main thing in this section is talking about the term app. And it's one of those things that we've used in our everyday culture that we don't necessarily think of a whole lot. The abbreviation app really is just a shortened version of the word application. And applications have largely been various types of computer programs or different tools that have been available on the web. But lately, the term app seems to more specifically mean software written for mobile devices. Mobile apps allow the cell phone user to be able to perform one or more specific tasks, and the app generally is going to be very much catered to helping a person do one specific thing or interact with one specific service. And that's kind of how the app has evolved over the past several years. So you will download an app and you will use it to do one specific thing or interact with one specific service. Okay, best practices for social media marketing tools. First off, don't fondle the tool. Well, okay. What does that mean? That kind of sounds creepy. Well, here's the thing. It is not the tool in and of itself. It is not the technology that is important here. It's not important for you to go out and grab every sort of tool that's available out there because the tool is out there, or because it's got some sort of glitz or shine or glamour to it. What's important is what the marketer needs to accomplish that determines appropriate choice and use of tools. Does the tool do what you need it to do? Does the tool give you the information you need? So you have to kind of navigate through that and determine whether a tool is going to be effective for you or not. Second, focus on the strategy, not on the tool. Even the best tools cannot rescue a poor strategy or substitute for the lack of a strategy. You have to know what your strategy is. You have to know what your goals are in social media. If you do not have a vision for what you want to see happen, then the tools that are available are going to be useless to you because you still don't know how to use them. You don't know how to use them to your advantage. You don't know the best ways to be able to put the content that you need to get out there, regardless of what tools that you have available to you. So you need to know what you want to accomplish before you start using any tool on a regular basis. Thirdly, think about the marketing tasks that must be accomplished and the persons who will have the task assignments. Think about who and how many people will be using the tools, forecast execution, and who will be accepting the monitoring data and the reports. So, you want to make sure that what you're able to do are the things that you need to do. The things you need to do, you're going to be able to do. The people that need to have access to those tools are going to have easy access to them. And think about wherever those people may be working from as well. If they need to have remote access to those tools, if they need to have certain privileges to access those tools, how easy is it for those people to be able to do those things and use those tools the way that they need to? Fourth, start small with simple tools that can be mastered quickly. Mastering the tools quickly will provide a quick return on the investment and also the return on any dollars that are spent if you are using a paid service. So you want to make sure that the tools you're using, you understand and that they are actually effective for you. Don't spend a lot of money on a tool that has a bunch of bells and whistles that you don't need at the moment. And finally, use dashboards to put tasks and monitoring data in easy to comprehend visual formats. Bringing the key strategic issues together in a single place not only saves time, it also promotes use of the data for decision making. So you want to make sure that the information that is being provided to you, the ways that you navigate through a screen to help you do what you need to do is something that is understandable, is easy enough to use, at least easier to use than the different platforms that you're trying to use, so that the tools that you have are actually effective for you. So there you go. There's a look at the various tools that are available to help you make your way through social media. And that's your notes for this chapter. Make sure you take a look at the study questions and any questions or comments you have. Make sure you bring them with you when we discuss the chapter together.